The Young and the Restless spoilers Saturdays weekly full November 23, 2024. A family reunited. The sun cast a warm glow over Genoa City as Lucy Winters walked through the front doors of her family home. After the tumultuous events surrounding her grandmother Phyllis's awakening, Lucy had been away, grappling with the chaos that had engulfed her family. Now, back home, she felt a sense of relief wash over her as she embraced her father, Daniel, and her grandmother, Catherine Chancellor. Daniel held Lucy tightly, the stress lines on his face momentarily softening. "You're home, sweetheart," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Catherine, ever the matriarch, pulled Lucy into a gentle hug, her eyes filled with a mix of worry and relief. "You've been through so much, darling. We're here for you." Lucy nodded, feeling the weight of her family's support. "I promise I won't do anything foolish again," she said, her voice steady. "Family is all I have now. I can't afford to lose it." Building a new beginning. With Phyllis's memory still fragmented and Sharon's precarious situation, the family knew they had to rebuild their lives from the ground up. Daniel called a family meeting in the spacious living room, the atmosphere tense yet hopeful. "We need to stay strong," Daniel began, his voice resolute. "Lucy, you need to stay focused on your studies and your future. We'll handle the rest. Hatred and blame are for the adults to sort out." Lucy looked around the room, meeting each family member's eyes. "Dad's right. We can't let the past dictate our future. We need to stay united." Catherine nodded, her wisdom evident. "We'll get through this together. Let's focus on what matters, our family." Summer's warning. Meanwhile, Summer Newman found herself in a tense conversation with Chance Chancellor. The recent events had left her on edge, particularly regarding Sharon's unpredictable behavior. Summer's determination to protect her family had only intensified. "Chance, you need to stay alert," Summer urged, her eyes scanning the room as if expecting danger to lurk in every shadow. "Don't target my family anymore. Sharon's involvement in all of this, it doesn't add up. You need to dig deeper into her true nature. Is she really the perpetrator?" Chance, a dedicated and seasoned police officer, nodded thoughtfully. "I hear you, Summer. But I've moved on from tracking Daniel. I have my own targets now, and I need to keep that information under wraps." Summer's frustration was palpable. "I understand, but Sharon and Phyllis, they're just victims right now. If someone is orchestrating Heather's murder, we need to find out who it is before more people get hurt." Chance sighed, the weight of his responsibilities evident. "I know, Summer. But uncovering the truth about Sharon is risky. She's more connected than you realize, and going after her could have serious repercussions. Hidden agendas." As the days passed, the tension in Genoa City continued to mount. Chance Chancellor, burdened by his knowledge of the true mastermind behind Heather's murder, worked in the shadows. He knew that Sharon and Phyllis were merely pawns in a much larger scheme orchestrated by a hidden criminal network that thrived on secrecy and manipulation. Chance's investigation had led him to unsettling conclusions. The evidence pointed to a covert group that had been manipulating events in Genoa City for their gain. Heather's murder was just one of their many orchestrated crimes, designed to sow chaos and fear. Sharon and Phyllis were collateral damage, caught in the crossfire of their sinister plans. Determined to bring down this hidden threat, Chance devised a meticulous plan. He couldn't afford to expose the criminals prematurely, their reach was too extensive, and their influence too deep. Instead, he opted for a strategic approach, gathering irrefutable evidence before making his move. Sharon's desperation. Back at home, Sharon Newman struggled with her fragile situation. The awakening of Phyllis had thrown her life into disarray, and the threat of legal repercussions loomed large. Every day, she lived in fear of Phyllis regaining her memories and exposing her darkest secrets. Sharon paced the living room, her mind racing. The pressure was unbearable. If Phyllis remembered everything, Sharon would lose everything: her family, her reputation, her freedom. She knew she had to act, but the options were limited and fraught with risk. In a moment of desperation, Sharon reached out to an old acquaintance, someone she believed could help her manipulate Phyllis's recovery. But deep down, a part of her feared that every action she took only pulled her deeper into darkness. Phyllis's struggle. Phyllis Summers continued her slow journey toward recovery, her memory still elusive. The more time she spent in the hospital, the more fragments of her past began to surface. One afternoon, as the family gathered around her bedside, Phyllis made a small but significant breakthrough. A fleeting memory of a heated argument with Sharon caused her to wince, the emotions behind it buried but not entirely forgotten. "Why do I feel like something's wrong?" Phyllis murmured, her eyes searching the faces around her. "I know there's something I need to remember." Summer leaned in, squeezing her mother's hand gently. "We'll help you, Mom. Take your time." Phyllis nodded slowly, determination flickering in her eyes. "I want to remember who I am and why I'm here." Chance's revelation. Meanwhile, Chance Chancellor delved deeper into his investigation, piecing together the intricate web woven by the criminal network. His relentless pursuit led him to uncover a connection between the group and several high-profile crimes in Genoa City, including Heather's murder. One evening, Chance received a confidential tip from an informant within the network. The informant revealed that the mastermind behind the recent chaos was someone with intimate knowledge of Genoa City's influential families. This revelation sent chills down Chance's spine. It pointed directly to someone he never expected. As he pondered the implications, Chance realized the extent of the corruption. The criminals were not just petty offenders, they were deeply entrenched in the city's power structures, making his mission even more perilous. But Chance was undeterred. He knew that exposing this network was the only way to restore peace and safety to Genoa City. The final confrontation. The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation. Phyllis, inching closer to her full recovery, was on the brink of uncovering the truth about her past. Sharon, desperate to protect her secrets, was teetering on the edge of her sanity. And Chance, burdened by his duty, was determined to dismantle the criminal empire threatening the city. One stormy night, as lightning illuminated the skyline, all paths converged. Phyllis, now more aware and determined, confronted Sharon in a tense and emotional showdown. "Sharon, I need to know the truth," Phyllis demanded, her voice wavering but strong. "Why have you been so desperate to keep me in this state?" Sharon's facade crumbled under the weight of her guilt. "Phyllis, I didn't want you to remember. If you did, everything would be ruined." Phyllis stepped closer, her eyes searching Sharon's. "Ruined? For what?" Before Sharon could respond, the sound of sirens filled the air. Chance and a team of officers burst into the room, weapons drawn. "Sharon Newman, you're under arrest for obstruction of justice and conspiracy to commit murder," Chance declared, his voice unwavering. Sharon's eyes darted around the room, searching for an escape. "You don't understand," she pleaded. "They're all against me." But Chance was resolute. "It's over, Sharon. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law." As Sharon was led away, Phyllis felt a mixture of relief and sorrow. The truth had finally come to light, but at a great personal cost. She looked around at her family, grateful for their support and determined to rebuild their lives together. A new dawn. With Sharon's arrest, the hidden criminal network began to crumble. Chance's unwavering dedication had paid off, bringing justice to those who had been wronged. Phyllis, now fully aware and ready to reclaim her life, took the first steps toward healing. Lucy, witnessing the resilience of her family, felt a renewed sense of purpose. "We're going to be okay," she whispered to herself, embracing the future with hope. Daniel and Catherine stood by her side, their love and strength a beacon of stability. Together, Daniel affirmed, "We'll get through this together." As the storm clouds parted and the first rays of dawn broke through, Genoa City began to heal. The scars of the past would remain, but the promise of a brighter future shone through the darkness.